Hey there, everyone, if anybody's even here yet. Brian Rundle and Lana Quest, Black and White. Lana will be joining me any minute now, so I figured I would just go ahead and get started. Start getting people in here. We'll wait till people kind of file in. We can let people know that we are live. So thank you for joining me if you are here. Like I said, Lana should be here any minute now, so we will just kind of get started and we'll introduce the show. Black and White, Brian Rundle, Lana Quest. And you can find us every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time live. If you have not followed us yet, or if you've not subscribed to the channel, we very much would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel now. And then also, Lana does her own live on YouTube. She usually does it on Saturdays. So if you'd like to find her, you can find it. It's called The Quest Show on YouTube. Just type in The Quest Show up here on YouTube and you should be able to find her. And we should be able to find her any minute now because she should be joining me very soon. So I'm going to talk. The Diava rate is here. Angela's here. Allie's here with the Diava rate. That is hilarious. Katrina, thank you for being here. We legitimately have a Diava raid. Diava, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you, which is great because I can talk to you guys for a few minutes while I'm waiting for Lana, who's just a few minutes late. So Diava, thank you for sending everybody over. Look who's here. Just as I was talking.
I made
Lana,
it.
No, don't do this.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Damn it. Wait. I know it's on my end. Hold on. Till the night closes in. Lana?
Hello? No? Come on!
Hold on. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not. I swear. Hold on.
How about now?
Hello? No.
Now I hear.
Oh, yay. Sorry I'm late, everyone. Apologies.
Sometimes hold on. Lana, I'm starting to get pissed.
I'm out again?
I mean, I hear you, but one second.
You tell me when to talk.
Now I hear you. There it goes.
Oh, gosh. Again, my apologies. To see if I was on time, then we could have worked this out prior to. Sometimes those commutes just be so long. Ugh.
I think you know my rule is that Lana Quest never needs to apologize.
Yeah. What are we talking about? What
we're talking about, I was just welcoming in the guests that have come over. One of my dear friends who does a live. She's very popular on TikTok, Diava. She sent all of her people over to watch us tonight. So we very much appreciate her. And some of our regulars on TikTok and some of our regulars in here.
I'm going to take my dog's chew toy. Sorry.
Go ahead. Take your time. Lana's a busy woman. And she's got things to do. But
that's because I'm not prepared. I'm just so late.
She's always prepared.
Late at life today. Oh, my gosh.
Okay. That's okay. I mean, at least we're still moving while we can. Because it feels like the whole world is crumbling. Feels like, what's up, Mr. Shadow? Feels like everything's crumbling. It feels like the world is ending. But there is good news, Lana. But right before we came on, Donald Trump signed an executive order that basically said he is going to slow down mail-in voting, which is ironic because he just voted recently in a district in which he lives in where Mar-a-Lago's at. He voted by mail. But this is the executive order that he signed, Lana, and he's going to explain it to you. I don't think he knows what he signed, but let's let him explain it.
I'm very happy to be signing the voter integrity, and I think it's going to be really great. So if you don't mind, I will take some time and I'll make this signature absolutely perfect. So it looks very good. So far, so good.
Listens to this guy, and they're all laughing. Oh, sir.
I hate when they do that.
Okay.
Oh, it's so pathetic.
So that's a big deal. Very proud.
It's kind of like a comedy club with a comedian that's absolutely bombing, and you're just kind of giving them courtesy laughs.
And I think, I don't know how it can be challenged. You'll probably challenge it. You may find a rogue judge. You got a lot of rogue judges. Very bad people, very bad judges. But that's the only way that can be changed. And hopefully we'll win on appeal if it is. But I don't see how anybody can challenge it.
No.
I don't
Yeah, nobody's going to challenge this one.
And remember, it's about voter integrity. We want to have honest voting in our country. Because if you don't have honest voting, you can't have really a nation.
So was it not honest when he just won? Like,
well, I'm glad he threw that reminder out there, Lana, because he was losing me until he said, just remember, this is about honest voting, everybody. He's still playing that game. I guess he still gets away with it from certain people, but it does seem to be getting old with a lot of people too.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's saying the same shit on loop. Like, even MAGA should be like scratching their head at this point. Like, are y'all serious right now? Like, it's the same. It'll probably be challenged, but it shouldn't be challenged, but we're going to win on appeal. Dude, you fucking lost 2 things today. Like, just today. Stop building your stupid fucking ballroom and fund PBS and NPR.
Yeah, that was the other thing that they lost. In fact, as soon as that pen left that piece of paper, I guarantee you there was already something filed. Because there's no possible way.
This is like just waiting and wait.
Yeah, it's like he was just waiting to press a button. Okay. There we go. Filed. We're good.
To the federal court.
Uploaded. But this is also a sign too that I think people should kind of pay attention to. That Donald Trump knows, just like the tariff thing, he knows that the Save America Act is not going to pass. So he's trying to get ahead of this being another disaster. Again, Donald Trump having the House, the Senate, the presidency, and for the most part, the Supreme Court of the United States cannot pass any meaningful legislation at all, other than that stupid, big, beautiful bill that gave tax breaks for billionaires. But it is one of the most inept presidencies I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, well, it is. It's the most, and there's not going to be anything else like it.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Like, I can't even believe people actually did this again. But I guess, and you know what's so funny? If he could get elected again, people complaining now would vote for him again. It's almost like they get amnesia and then they forget and then they vote. Because like the first presidency was horrible. It was the same situation. He had neo-Nazis. Like, I remember that guy. I remember, then I forget his name. The neo-Nazi he had working in the White House. Like, he was doing this stuff before. Stephen Miller just didn't pop up. He was around during the first administration. Trump was putting kids in cages during the first administration and not giving them toothpaste and soap. Like, what's the difference here?
He had guardrails because there were people in government that still went by the rules. Project 2025 told everybody what this new administration was going to be. As long as they won the Senate and the House, and they were able to make all their appointees that had to go through Congress, and then he had his own appointees that he can make without having to go through Congress, that every single person in every single position is going to be a loyalist, and they're not going to be government officials that would play by the rules. They're just going to do whatever Trump says. I say Trump, whatever the Heritage Foundation or whoever's really running the show says, and make sure that they just do all the bidding. And that's exactly what they got. This is way more dangerous than the first time. at least the first time, he really didn't do anything except for the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I mean, I'm saying not to the extent that what he's doing now,
Well,
because we didn't have ICE the way we have it now.
Right. And that's like one of the big things. I would agree with you there. But it was bad. People were dying from COVID. Like, he really didn't have a chance to do a lot of the shit that he wanted to do. But like, he hid fucking COVID from America, and people friggin' died. But like, immigration was just as bad. He was separating parents from their kids on purpose and lost the friggin' kids. Like, it was horrible. People were dancing in the street when Biden won, like dancing because it was so bad. But then they turned around and like forgot.
Well, so there's a couple things there. Number one, Trump had one large test. He had one huge test, and he failed it miserably. You were talking about people having amnesia. Well, it was impossible to have amnesia.
Was it the cognitive test that he failed? Or?
No, he's passed that one, Lana. He tells us every single fucking day that he's passed a cognitive test.
Oh my!
He can tell the difference between a giraffe and an elephant.
Yeah, he's tasting it.
Right, but you talked about amnesia. He didn't have enough time for people to have amnesia because his test came at the end of his presidency.
Right.
And people were like, man, he's really screwing this up. We've got to bring somebody else in. Joe Biden was great. But what happened with Joe Biden is that, again, Donald Trump was still around. They didn't do their due diligence to get rid of Donald Trump, either at the last impeachment. They should have convicted him at the time when they had a chance. They didn't do that. And then they waited years to figure out how they were going to press charges against him.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's just amazing, the fucking timeline and how lucky this guy got.
What's his face? I blame
Merrick Garland.
Yeah. Ugh. And he's silent right now. You don't hear any words from Merrick Garland. He says nothing right now. It's just,
I mean, what's he gonna say?
That is true.
You know, they had, out of all those cases, and you pick any one out of a hat, he's convicted. I don't care which one it was. If they would have just focused on one, just say, screw it, let's just do one. He's convicted on any one, especially that document. The documents case was the easiest one of them all, and the other two were extremely easy. So
I don't know why the document case, Jack Smith only filed it in Florida. I don't know why he did that.
It's from what I remember and what I read, it was you can't say we weren't being fair to you. And I think Jack Smith was cocky enough to still believe that they could press charges, but it just so happened that the judge that was picked for that case, Eileen Cannon, was a Trump nut. And from my understanding, there was nothing nefarious on how she was picked.
That's what they say. How do we know that?
I don't.
Like, we literally don't know that for a fact, right?
Right.
Because it was only between 4 judges or something like that.
I think 5, yeah.
Supposedly it was like friggin', you put the names in a hat and you draw it. Like,
yeah.
I don't believe that Trump did not get to those people. He is Florida. They're naming a friggin' airport after him, for God's sake. So, of course, I wouldn't trust anything coming out of Florida with any judge.
No, you're right. You're right to be skeptical. But during the Biden administration, we were talking about that too. I'm telling you, that, especially COVID, once COVID hit, that's when podcasts blew up. Mm-hmm. And that started to become everybody's go-to, whether it was news or not news. Everybody just used podcasts as comfort, whatever it was. And then it started becoming where people were getting their news. And the loudest podcasts of them all were far right-wing podcasts. Right. So they were able to reshift the narrative back to Trump and put it on Biden that it was his fault that we had high inflation. I talk to people every night. There are people who still come up to my live and tell me every night that Biden left Trump the highest inflation rate in American history.
Like, where have you been in Iraq? freaking Google it. Like, and they don't want to Google.
It doesn't matter. They don't want to.
They don't want to know it. It's like, no, I know. It's like,
Yeah,
it's not true.
it's
not
just
true.
wild. I don't understand why you would want to be a grown adult and just say, I don't care about facts. I need to be right about this guy who hates me.
Right. I heard a woman say, I don't care if he lies. I support him anyway.
Right.
I mean, so if you have people saying stuff like that, where are we? But the good thing is, those are just his diehard supporters, which,
Are falling off.
Exactly. But what is his poll numbers, like as low as his IQ at this point?
Yeah.
33% or something like that.
I saw that he had the largest deficit that he has had. At this point, it's the lowest of any president at this point at minus 17. So I think that's more good news. But if you want to talk about good news, Lana, let's take a quick look at what happened over the weekend here. Minneapolis, Philadelphia, Washington, New York, Chicago, Boston, San Diego, and that's just a few of the places everywhere around in my state of Florida. We had people all over Orlando. We had people in my town. We had people in Jacksonville. The villages were filled up here in Florida, down here in Florida, I should say. So this was the largest single day of protest in American history, between 8 and 9 million people, which superseded the last one. And I think people I think they're done. I think MAGA as a whole is done. And if voting happens free and fair as it normally does, this is all over for Donald Trump. They're going to win the House easily. And I truly believe they're going to win the Senate.
Yeah, I can see that. They're really afraid of Tallarico. Like, I heard some Republican call him a clown, and I'm just like, what? It's like,
I guarantee you that Republican knows nothing about James Tallarico.
Yeah, I'm like, he's far from a clown. Like, that's, even if you wanted to diss him, clown would not be that proper.
Yeah, it's a bad way to describe him. Yeah, I mean, but they did the same thing with Kamala Harris. They said, you really think that Kamala would have been better than Donald Trump? And I'm like, I can't believe that people have that thought. Like they can literally let that come out of their mouths.
Right, because how like, seriously, what are you weighing here, right? Like, are you doing like white man, black?
Yes, that's exactly what they're weighing. You don't have to go any further.
Right, because other than that, it's not education.
Nope.
It's not IQ.
It's not vocabulary.
It's not vocab. Right, it's none of those things. Like, so how
experience.
It's not experience. She's been a DA, attorney general, a senator, vice president, and the TV B-rated was that.
The funny thing is, we could still say that with him doing 4 years of president, and still say she has more experience than he does.
He doesn't read briefs. Like,
no.
That's the guy that you're saying is more the guy who doesn't read. Like, just doesn't read. He goes by like his gut feeling and his fantasy and his understanding of things. Because, I mean, the Iran war, you don't even like. I don't know a lot about Iran. I don't. I remember the Ayatollah from when I was young and some shit. I know that Obama had like a peace deal signed. Yep. Trump ripped that shit up. Trump started bombing with Israel, but then they did not make sure that Strait of Hormuz, like, I didn't know what it was called, but I did know that ships were going. You know what I mean? Like, that on that side of the world, ships and cargo and shit that we need and everyone needs is passing through there, because that is why Israel remains our ally, because we need the ports and the seas. So, like, why would you think that would not be an option anymore if you started bombing over there? Like, that just seems like common sense. Like I
Yeah,
know
but see, there's your problem there, Lana. You just
no
said, why
comment.
would you think in common sense when we're equating it to Donald Trump?
It's
There
just
is no common sense. This guy has zero clue what's happening in Iran. And, it's funny. We talked earlier about the people that laugh at everything he says, and they sit around that meeting at that table and they say, Mr. Trump, you are absolutely the greatest president of all time. And it is clear that all of these people, I know that they are sick to their stomach that they have to do this, but they've gotten with people who understand the program way more than Donald Trump does. And they got with Rubio, they got with Vance, they got with any one of them and said, listen, guys, this is all you have to do with him. I know it's terrible. I know you're not going to want to do this and you're not going to feel proud about yourself doing it, but this is how we get whatever we want from this guy. It's simple. Same thing that Putin does to him. Same thing that Netanyahu does to him. That's why we're in this fucking war, because he probably called him up and said, I got a prize for you, Donald, if you just get in the war that I've been trying to do for 40 years. So, I mean, it would be funny if it wasn't so damn scary and dangerous. I don't think people are really understanding just how dangerous that this is.
Well, I don't know. 8 million people would beg to differ because they do understand. Like if they don't understand the ins and outs and the intricacies, they know on the surface level, war bad, don't want my kids to be drafted. Like, so that's all they don't need to know the inner workings of, there are people making money from this war.
Yeah. Oh, no question.
That was going to happen. And we just knew, like it's happened over the years anyway, for decades. People make money from war. We have a corrupt administration. They're going to make money from this war. Like they're just going to do that.
Yep. And it is going to be interesting to see if they actually do implement a draft. They up the draft age to 45 years old. So that's going to be.
What the fuck?
Yep. They just did it last week, where they upped the age to 45 years old, where you could be drafted.
So they want to send older men?
Huh?
So they want to draft older men?
They sure do. They're because they need people. But you want to see, the irony, Lana? The irony is, watch how many of these MAGA dudes become transgenders as soon as that draft opens up, because they don't like they no transgender people in the military anymore because that's too woke.
Are we talking about Kristi Noem's husband?
Isn't that hilarious? That is classic. That is just fan-fucking-tastic. And I don't give a fuck what the guy does in his own personal life. But to happen to Kristi Noem and the way she makes fun of that whole thing and everything, and it happens in her own household to her own children's father.
I had to send that, I kept putting that picture, because when I first saw it, when I woke up this morning, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I didn't believe it, because I
did too. At first I was like, no, I'm not believing
so
this.
You throw it in Grok there and ask, is this picture real, right?
Yep.
And earlier it was like, no, that's not Kristi Noem's husband. It doesn't look anything like him. Like, this is Grok, right? Like, blah, blah, blah. But then I saw later on a tweet from PolitiFact.
Yep.
And I'm like, they are posting it. If PolitiFact is posting it, it's real.
Kristi Noem responded to it.
Right. Yeah, right. That's right. So then I put it back in Grok again.
Yeah.
Now it said, maybe it took a minute to gather all the information, right? Because now Kristi Noem is responding, because it's just getting what we're seeing. And then it was like, yes. And then it's like, you heard, yeah, he got a fetish.
Yeah, like the Ava says, she's asking for privacy now.
Then the woman who loves to be seen wants privacy.
Pray for her family, Lana. If you decide to say a prayer tonight,
I just want to know what bathroom they're going to make him use.
Right. They're gonna get mad when he puts those balloons in his shirt. All right, man. Whatever floats your chest, I guess. Going back to the No Kings, Lana, there was a woman, these guys that like to go out on the street, these conservative guys, and they think they're going to interview the leftist and embarrass them. Well, came across one woman who was like, I don't see any of the diversity out here on this street. The diversity, you guys are into diversity. Where's the diversity? He ran into the wrong woman. Let's listen to what she had to say.
Diversity here today. That it's mostly.
God damn it. Lana told me, she said last week, she goes, if this happens one more time, you're fired.
Oh, this is your show. I don't think I can do that.
Lack of diversity here today. That it's mostly people who look like you and I. And I just
It is not for black people, for people of color to get out on the street. They're at risk when they do that. If anybody's going to get arrested here, it's going to be a black person. It is not safe for them, and they don't need to participate. We need to walk in their name.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
Pay attention to the interviewer for a second here, too. Hold on.
Need to participate. We need to walk in their name.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. Okay. What do you think about voter ID? Do you think it's racist?
It's 100% a tactic to control the population and prevent people from voting, so that the only votes so that the gerrymandering can work, so that white voters can vote in white Christian males.
Have you been voting blue most of your life?
I voted blue in the womb.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
If you had to vote for a Republican, J.D. Vance or Rubio, which one would you pick if you had to?
Yeah.
I would slit my throat.
Ooh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
seems
was
like there's
fantastic. Besides the obvious, and we'll get into what the woman said, this is what I like pointing out about these dudes. Because we talked about that Inside the Manosphere documentary last week on Netflix, that when these guys are amongst themselves, they're all confident. But when they're in front of somebody that fucks them up and they don't know how to respond, he got a little nervous. You could hear the deep breaths in him. He didn't know how to respond. These dudes, all of them are fucking dumb. They're only smart when they're amongst their own people. That's why you don't see Jesse Waters and who's that other little troll next to him. They don't go on other shows. They stay within their bubble because they know they're not smart enough to talk about these things with people with actual knowledge. But what'd you make of what she had to say, Lana?
I mean, she's right. She's 1000% right, because at the end of the day, whether people of color go out to these protests or not, I'm not saying that, we should not, because of course, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But, we vote. We haven't been the problem, right. Especially Black women. We're not the problem. Whether we're at the protest or not, we vote. We do the right thing. So there lies the issue. It's, dare I say, white women. Like, you just have been voting for Republicans, off the chain, and that's problematic. But no, she's absolutely right. And that's what an ally does, right? An ally doesn't blame. An ally does not center themselves. She understands. She's like, you know what? They've been marching since forever. We got this, because we understand that it is dangerous out here. Because if it's between that white old lady and she's with, a young Black guy, who are they going to stop? Right? Like if ICE shows up or whatever, like who are they going to mess with? So she gets it. I like that. That is an ally. All Democrats are not allies.
No, and that's what I said. You know why? And I was just about to say, one of the main reasons why you could say that is because allies don't skirt the issue either. They might not even answer like that. They might just say, no, we're just out here to do the thing. But you got to answer that question correctly, because that's what he was leading to.
No, right.
He was leading to some sort of, blame or some sort of pointing out that.
Right. He wanted to divide, like, there ain't no Black people out here. Ain't no brown people out here. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. That's not what unity is.
Yep.
It's a time and place for everything.
I love when these little clowns get dragged. But
I will slit my throat. I hear you, sister, because fuck both of them, dude.
Yeah, like I said, if I had to vote for either one of them, I got news for you. A lot of the people in the Republican Party aren't even that thrilled with either one of them. So,
Facts.
yeah. And, this war is going to have a lot to do with it. Both of them are going to get fucked up on this because JD Vance is saying nothing. Marco Rubio is, saying nothing. They had a lot to say about Kamala Harris. If you elect her, this is exactly what's going to happen. We're going to be in a war with Iran. If you elect Kamala Harris, she's going to be sending your sons and daughters to fight in a war that is not our war. And guess what? When they decide to run for president, because they will, and they'll have money and they'll have backing, those clips will be played over and over and over again, and they're not going to be able to escape them. And you're also going to be at a point where the country is done and sick of anybody associated with what is going on now.
Oh, absolutely. You sat by Rubio, who knows better. Actually, they both know better. And they said, allowed it to happen, didn't say anything. Rubio's twisting themselves in pretzels.
Yep.
Lying
like
about
all MAGA men do.
Exactly. Israel was going to attack. So we knew that we had to attack because Israel was going to attack. Like, what? What are we saying? Then it was like the freaking nuclear bombs and like, what is a regime change? Trump's telling everybody to run to the streets and take back Iran. It's just like, what in the entire hell is going on here? Nobody knows.
It's a great question, Lana, because Donald Trump was asked about that. He's going to tell you, maybe if you listen to this clip, it'll change our mind. We always are open to listening to the guy who's running this show. Awesome. So we're going to give him a chance here. So see if you can make out what he said, Lana, and see if it helps you make a decision on whether or not we should be there.
Perfect.
8 votes 2 days ago, and then they added another 2, so it was 10 votes. And now today they gave us as a tribute, I don't know, I can't define it exactly, but they gave us, I think out of a sign of respect, 20 boats of oil, big boats of oil, going through the Hormuz Strait. And that's taking place starting tomorrow morning.
Well, I think it is fair, just so you know, Iran was asked about this big boat gift, and they said they have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But Lana, maybe they're lying. Did that help you in any way?
Is he saying the hormone straight? I'm just confused.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not talking about once, twice. Literally every time. I've said it before on my live. I dare anybody to find me one clip of this guy saying anything intelligent, anything at all when he's asked a question.
No.
He sounds like an 8-year-old every time he talks.
Yeah, and MAGA like, oh, he's smart. Dumb Kamala. Dumb Obama.
He mentioned Kamala again last week, too, talking about her IQ. I would love for them two to take an IQ test against each other. This is where the reality television, that's what I would do. Let's do a reality television show where they're both taking an IQ test and we can see the results live on air.
I've never even seen his grades. Like, he loves to brag about everything. That's just something that he does not show us. He's never shown it because he wasn't even taking the test, like mommy and dad.
His tax returns, Lana. We never saw those tax returns.
Just a never.
Yep. Well, we did when they were exposed when Mary Trump sued him, and we got to see some tax returns. But this guy keeps talking about how he's under audit. He can't release his tax returns. It's clear that he doesn't release his tax returns because they would be exposed as the shitty businessman that most of us already know that he is. But while he's sending other parents' children to war, Lana, he's asked about that, and he just goes and rambles on about his ballroom, which we got some interesting news about that today. But again, while he is sending people to war, people are paying more money for groceries than any time in American history. Gas prices now are officially, nationally, over $4 a gallon. People are having a hard time just paying their bills. They're having a hard time economically. He's getting very low ratings on the economy. This is what this guy has to say.
It will be magnificent looking in between the columns. We took the stairs out that were in the south side and really replaced them with these stairs. So you have an open porch and you have the closed porch under the columns overlooking the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial / Monument. So that's great. This is a view of the columns as they are going to be made. They're going to be hand carved and they're beautiful. Top of the line, they'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far. Okay? What's your timeline on 8 votes 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna be out there carving them columns, hand carving them columns.
Well, not anymore, Lana.
I know, Judge, but like, I mean, if you listen to the things he says, it doesn't make sense. Who's hand carving those columns? Like, who's ever doing that? When's it gonna be done in 1,000 years? Like, what is this? Prehistoric? Like, what? Ancient Rome? What are we talking about? What are they made of? Wood? He said hand carved the columns. Are they wood columns? Like, is it a carpenter putting the columns? He said the White House has a porch. Like, if you just took a minute to listen, none of it makes sense. His vocabulary is, like you said, a friggin' toddler. A porch? This is the porch.
Lana, when he had all of his wits about him, that's literally what I've read about. That's how he used to do business with his own buildings. He would have all these grand ideas. They would be overinflated. He would have a certain budget for it. He would start the project and keep adding to it. And they'd say, we don't have the budget for this. And he would just be like, figure it out. He'd figure it out. They'd start building it. He'd be behind so much. Then you'd have to take another bank loan out after bank loan. That's why he had to eventually file bankruptcy so many times, because he's such a fucking clown. And by the way, there was 0% chance that this thing was ever going to start getting built. It wasn't even going to start hitting the very first brick ever. But as we heard today, a federal judge overturned this and said, no, you cannot do this. And of course, here's Donald Trump with one of his batshit crazy posts here. I do have to remove this banner because I can't see the whole thing, Lana. Hold on. I'm going to hide that. There we go. It says the National Trust for Historic Preservation sues me for a ballroom that is under budget, ahead of schedule, being built at no cost to the taxpayer, and will be the finest building of its kind anywhere in the world. I then get sued by them over the renovation of the dilapidated and structurally unsound former Kennedy Center, now the Trump Kennedy Center, parentheses, a show of bipartisan unity, a Republican and Democrat president. I hate this guy. Where all I am doing is fixing, cleaning, and running and sprucing up a terribly maintained for many years building. Why does he have building? And but a building of potentially great importance. Yet the National Trust for Historic Preservation, a radical left group of lunatics whose funding was stopped by Congress in 2005, is not suing the Federal Reserve for a building which has been decimated and destroyed inside and out by an incompetent and possibly corrupt Fed chairman. The once magnificent building is billions over budget. That is 0% chance that's true. May never be completed and may never open. All of the beautiful walls inside have been ripped down, never to be built again. I don't even know what I'm reading now at this point, Lana. I don't know what he's talking about, but the National Trust for Historic Preservation never did anything about it. Or have they sued? Oh my God, this guy, Governor Gavin Newsom's railroad to nowhere. He's just thinking of anything now in California.
Wait, why are we in California right now?
I don't know, Lana. This is a wild journey that we're both just going to have to take together.
Okay.
Budget and probably will never open or be used. So the White House ballroom, we're back to that at least,
Okay.
and the Trump Kennedy Center which are under budget, ahead of schedule, and will be among the most magnificent buildings of their kind anywhere in the world, get sued by a group that was cut off by government years ago. But all of the many disasters in our country are left alone to die. Doesn't make much sense, does it? President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, me no like. I don't. It's just
So dumb.
It's so funny. It's like he says the opposite of everything. It's like the White House ballroom under budget. It's gonna be the best. It's just.
If anybody asked him, can you show me the budget sheet? Can you just show me the plans? Could you show me? He would have no clue. No fucking clue.
He said the White House was falling apart. Meanwhile, Mar-a-Lago looks like something from the 70s.
Correct.
Doesn't his hotels have bed bugs?
Yes. And if you also walk into a lot of his hotels, one of the things that he used to do when he was building these hotels is he would build things that looked expensive, but were actually very cheap. So a lot of the rooms, a lot of the stuff that is in that hotel is actually very cheap, where it may have looked expensive at one point, but then it starts to get older. It starts to peel. It starts to look bad. And many of his hotels, he wouldn't even bother fixing it or renovating it because it would be too much money. And by the way, he was already in the hole so much on these buildings, he wasn't able to do it anyway if he wanted to.
Which is interesting, right? Because he's grifting like crazy right now. He's worth billions of dollars right now, like more than he was prior to the presidency. And he doesn't even put it back into his properties. Like, what is he doing with them? What does he do?
He doesn't have money, though. That's the thing. He didn't have money to put it into his properties. He builds it. He fucks it up.
Right now, like I'm saying, like the money that he is making from Bitcoin, from selling these pardons, like is he?
You think he gives a fuck about those buildings anymore? Because he doesn't even own them. What he's getting is royalties just for his names being on it. So he doesn't care about the structure. In fact, the people who now own majority of the building, they're the ones who are putting the renovations. They're the ones doing it.
What is he doing with his money? Like literally, like what does he do with the money?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Like it's just I don't like what's that? I don't know.
It's incredible. I think basically what he wants, the more money that he is so-called worth, it's just better for his ego. And that's all he cares about is the worth and the dollar amount that's next to his name. That's how he's always been. And he's never been on the same level as real businessmen and billionaires. Right. And I'm sure that has gotten to his ego for years and years and years. Now he is the so-called most powerful person in the world. And he told a little story that we're going to get into here in a second. But Lana, this is another one. It's kind of at this point, it's interesting to play the Trump clips now because we're clearly seeing the signs of a guy who is clearly losing it. I mean, he's just losing it. And he's up on the stage the other day at not a rally, but something where he was talking, and he made this just very bizarre comment.
Much, and I'm asked to take a few questions, and unlike other politicians, they would like the questions screened. I don't ask for screening of the questions. You can ask me anything you want. You can talk sex. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm here for you.
If Obama or Biden said that,
everybody very much,
that would be on television. Shut the fuck up, you dummy. That would be on television. Every minute of every single day for weeks.
I mean, we did see him do fellatio on a mic. So
that is true.
Anything is anything.
And he does a jerk off dance.
Yeah. Like he talked about Melania's panties.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude.
Stormy's already told us about his sex, so we don't need to know anymore.
Who?
Stormy.
Oh yeah. Well, Epstein files have too.
That's true.
And it's very interesting that again, somehow that is being lost in this. And a lot of people are surmising the reason why Donald Trump started and got involved in this thing, which now it appears as if he's looking to do anything he can to get out of this thing. And I think made a comment that they're going to be out in 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know how it's going to work, but we were talking about an interesting comment that he made, Lana. He's already made comments about how he loves the poorly educated, how smart people don't like him. And here's his newest that the MAGA SEALs clapped at and said, "That's me, Mr. President."
Yeah.
What is missing in leadership?
Well, it's winning. You got to win. You know, I've watched a lot of people, leaders, great leaders. And, you know, the one thing about sports is you break it down into, you know, a 2-hour period, something nice. You don't have to wait a lifetime to find out is somebody a winner or a loser. You got a lot of losers, mostly losers, fortunately. It's a good thing to have a lot of losers. I always like to hang around with losers, actually, because it makes me feel better. I hate guys that are very, very successful and you have to listen to their success stories. I like people that like to listen to my success.
And there's the clapping SEALs laughing in the background, and you got to wonder what Vance and Rubio and Pete Hegseth are thinking. Pam Bondi.
Right. They thinking he's not talking about me.
I could just see the people that are running the show just going, guys, just relax, just take it. Just he's going to be gone soon. Don't worry about it. Just shake your head and go, okay, he's talking about me. I'll be embarrassed. I'll be, I know they like to use the word cuck all the time. You know, that's what they are to this man. And I just tell you, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, fuck that.
That's why we always wondered about his relationship with Elon, right? Because we kind of knew this about him. We already knew this about him. It's
Yeah.
like, I've always felt like it was like a love to hate. Like loved his money, loved that he was, you know, almost a trillionaire, but hated that he was the guy. Like he could just do whatever he wanted to do. So
Yep. That's exactly right. Well, it's been a rough week for MAGA and the people who love Donald Trump, because not only did Donald Trump say that he loves losers, he loves being around losers, and that's why he likes to do so many of those rallies. Joe Rogan weighed in on MAGA, and he had a specific thing and a word he used about what MAGA has become.
Make America great again. I don't care. Then
But
fine.
that phrase sucks. Here's the thing. Like, first of all, America is great. Make America greater, I'm down. But make America great again, and then it becomes a movement of a bunch of fucking dorks, because a lot of them are dorks. A lot of them, these really weird, fucking uninteresting, unintelligent people that have got something they cling to.
Lana and I are going to have bad news for Joe Rogan after this clip is over.
And there's a lot of people that are just real, genuine patriots, and they're all lumped into this one group, and you got to accept the dorks too. Fuck that.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
the
Joe, you're
phrase
right.
"Make America."
Fuck that. You're one of them, pal.
facts. Him, Andrew Schultz, and Charlemagne the God.
And that clown talking to him, what's his name? David Smith or something like that. He's another comedian. When did all these comedians, these C and D rate comedians, take over the political discourse in this country? And this is what people are listening to. People listen to these two thinking they're having an intelligent conversation about politics.
Right. Unbelievable. These are the people who like galvanized the bros and was like, yeah, Trump is cool. But now like, oh shit, I didn't know he was going to do X, Y, Z. Like, where have you been? Like,
what was cool about him prior to him getting elected?
Nothing at all. He was, you know what? He just lied and everyone just ate it. I remember him going to like a Latino barbershop or whatever and sat down and talked to the guys in the barbershop talking about he was going to get rid of like federal taxes or some bullshit. And I'm just like, y'all for real believing that? Like what's wrong with you? Like what's wrong with you?
I know what it was, especially with people like Rogan and these guys, is that there was this anti-sentiment against wokeness and accepting. Right. By the way, it is Trans Visibility Day. So yes. Any of the transgender people out there, happy Trans Visibility Day. But that's what it is a lot about.
Shout out to Kristi Noem's husband.
Shout out to Kristi Noem's husband. It's a big day for him. I'm sure he's celebrating. Although today might be a bad day for him. He might feel a little embarrassed. I don't know. Or maybe he's just happy. Maybe he's just like, fuck it. You know,
it's out now.
It's out now. Now he's really going to turn his freak on.
Exactly.
But I think it's this whole anti thing that they got all so wrapped up in. They're like, we got to get Trump back because we got to get rid of this shit. And that was more important to them than the actual reality of him becoming president. Now he's president. They're like, huh? And we're like, you fucking dummies. Mm-hmm. They wrote a fucking 900-page manual of exactly what they were going to do. But Donald Trump said he didn't know anything about it. So you fucking dummies. Everybody that wrote the book was either part of his cabinet before, is part of the Heritage Foundation, who you know is going to be involved. So that's why it is important. I don't know, Lana. I know people talk about free speech, and I'm all for free speech. But if you are going and you have an audience in which you are influential, I think there's got to be some sort of rules against people who are talking about such important things, just like we had before when we had the Fairness Doctrine. And the Fairness Doctrine basically said that if you were talking about one thing on your show, you have to have somebody to come and counter it. Right. So that's why I think we need to bring something like that back. It's very important because the discourse has gotten out of control. And it's gotten out of control because we're allowing it on outlets that do not have any, there's no ramifications to them for saying just whatever the fuck they want to.
All right. Same with the print media, right? Like they just print. I saw came across my phone like Newsweek, and I opened it because the headline was like Trump's ratings soar with the TSA workers. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What? Like you're lying. Like, and that was around the time that it came out that he was at 33% like approval rating. I'm like, yeah, they're just trying to counter that. It's like that is not TSA is not out here celebrating Trump after.
No.
You're not gonna hold my check for 2 months, then finally give me my check and I'm gonna celebrate you.
Not to mention, Lana, this is the third, or what is this? The fourth shutdown under Trump. This has happened to TSA 4 fucking times already. It's all been under Trump.
Like, are they going to just be like, yeah, it's not Trump's fault? Like, because he went and was like, oh, the executive order. Right. But he held that to the last minute. Like, he didn't even want to do that.
Yep.
He could take money from the DHS and fund the TSA.
No question about it. They also, you even had people like Senator John Kennedy, who's goofy and he's nutty, but he even came out and said, we have a plan in place. Trump just says, no, we're not dealing with the Democrats. He goes, we can fund TSA. We can fund everything else right now, except for ICE. And they're like, nope, no deal. Cause you're dealing with the Democrats. And I don't know, man.
And that's one of the things that bugs me too about like MAGA and like the Republican Christians. It's like, why don't you think anything is wrong with a president who only cares about people who voted for him? Like that on its face is crazy. Like he only cares about certain states and cares, I'm just using loosely because he don't give a shit about anything and anyone. He'll fake care about like the red states, but like he's outwardly disgusted by blue states. But like, how is that a president? Like how does how do people think that's normal?
They
Like, I'm holding your FEMA. I'm withholding FEMA from
Wow.
these blue states because you didn't vote for me. It's like there's literally Republicans in blue. Like, it's just, why is that okay? It's baffling that you're like, he's your president, but no, he's not.
They got caught up. Again, the one thing that they did well, which is an evil plan, is demonize fellow Americans. And if you are against the cause, if you are against Christ and Jesus, that's one side of it. If you're for diversity, equity, and inclusion, which everybody should be, but they demonize that as in, if you are a company that has DEI, that means they are hiring an unqualified person of non-whiteness over you. That's what they do, which is wrong. And they got so caught up in that anything else is less important. And they need to destroy that. And you and I, Lana, and everybody watching this, for the most part, we are the enemy to these people now. We are worse than Russia. We are worse than North Korea to them. We are the absolute enemy. But see, here's the problem. When this is all over and it all ends, we're going to remember it. And we're going to move forward with our lives, and we're going to leave them in the dust. And they can sit there and try to come back and go, hey, man, you know, I think most people are going to remember, because this isn't like, again, it's not policy stuff that we're arguing against. We just saw how terrible and ugly and mean that these people were. And I don't know, unless you have some sort of mechanism where you can let that go, or you could just go, all right, I guess we'll go back. I know it's going to be hard for me to do that. And it's going to be hard for a lot of Americans to do that.
Yeah. I don't fuck with MAGA. Like, that's just like, there's no way. If you're supporting Donald Trump, maybe I could give you a pass. The first administration, Donald Trump, maybe. Like, I wasn't, but like, can see why some people would. But like this one right here.
Yeah, if you're fully on board now, I could do that. If you go, I made a mistake and you owned it,
right?
Then I can be forgiving. Because again, I think you and I have talked about this before. I don't think most people are politically bright. When, you know, to the extent that you and I and the people watching and a lot more people who follow it, I think only 15, 20% of Americans actually follow it to the level that we do. And some, you know, even more so. But for the most part, people look at politics through the periphery. And when you're doing that, you can get fooled easily. You can think one thing and go, oh, really? That's what the Democrats are? Well, I'm not voting for that. And I don't think they do it maliciously. I think they just do it because they're lazy. I do also, I mean, obviously, a lot of people do it because of the hatred that comes behind Make America. That's why you still have a solid base. Those people are solidly in. We know who those people are. Mm-hmm. But if you realized after a while, you voted with those people and you now realize who they are, and you're like, fuck, that's not good. I made a mistake. I'm willing to let that go.
Right. Agree.
So, but all right, final clip, Anna. I'm just playing it.
5 million, and it would be better. It would be better. See this pen right here? This pen is an interesting example. It's the same thing. So this pen is very inexpensive, but it writes well. I like it. But I can't have the pen the way it was. You know what it is. I don't want to give too much publicity, but they do treat me well. Sharpie.
This isn't as long. It is a little bit long. It's not as long. But imagine these assholes sitting next to him. First of all, to see the fake laughter, having to sit through this so uncomfortable.
So I came here. They have $1,000 pens.
This is what
and you know, you hand pens out, just sign your hand.
What's that?
I said, like, watching, because I saw this in real time, and watching Hegseth's face, at some point, he looked like he was going, what is he talking about? Like,
he's like, when is this going to fucking end? Yep.
Out, you're handing them to all these people. Sometimes you have 30, 40 people, and they were $1,000 a piece. Beautiful
starting
pen,
already.
ballpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thousand. It was gold, silver, gorgeous. But I'm handing it out
Rubio's
to kids
did
that
it
don't
from the
even know what
beginning.
to do. What is this, mommy? This is kids. They're getting a pen for $1,000. They have no idea what it is. And I feel guilty because I'm like,
He's very
by
skilled.
nature, I don't, it's the government. I love the government like I love myself economically. I want to save money. So I'm saying this is crazy. And it had another problem. They didn't write well. So I take
It's
it
like
out.
I don't want
And I
to.
saw it,
I,
and there's
I
no
don't want to
ink.
hear the whole thing, but I
got all
can't
you
turn
people
it off
looking,
either.
and you say there must be something wrong with Trump. And I'm sorry,
What?
And there's no ink in the pen, and it costs $1,000. This one, I called the guy. I said, I'd like to use your pen, but I can't have a gray thing with a big S on it saying Sharpie. As I'm signing a
This is
$1
the
trillion
president
airplane
of
contract
the United States.
to buy brand new fighter jets, brand new B-2 bombers, of which we just ordered plenty. I can't do that with the press. Use your pen, but I like the pen the best. But I'll sign it. I could do like Biden did, give it
here we go.
to somebody else to sign, or an auto pen, or maybe sign it separately in another room. But I can't use your pen. He said, well, I can make it nicer. I said, what can you do? He said, I'll paint it black. I said, that's nice. And I can even paint the White House on it, sir, if you like, in gold.
It's almost over, but I can't
Almost
turn
real
it off.
gold, not bad. And I can even do your signature, sir. And by the way, this was not staged. I just saw the pen sit there, and I thought of this as an example of how $25 million spent by me at the Federal Reserve Building would be a better job than $4 billion that they're spending. And one of the things that Kevin Walsh told me?
All right, that's it. That's enough.
Um,
There's your president, Lana.
so that was a cabinet meeting.
Right.
And I believe the question before this tangent was about Iran.
Yep.
And then he got into the markers.
Yep.
But also, one of the journalists, I don't know who, and if they were in the room, got in contact with Sharpie. And that conversation never happened.
That is correct. That's the other, I think, most important thing out of that long batshit crazy clip is that never happened. Just like Donald Trump when he said we got a bunch of gifts and boats and from Iran, and Iran said that never happened. Maybe.
I mean, just like he said that he got a call from a president, a former president, who said, I wanted to do the same thing in Iran. Good job.
Yeah, Putin.
Maybe that was the president because it wasn't an American president.
Oh, it was Putin. Yeah, it was Putin. He said that Putin called him and said, I can't believe you did it.
It was like, what?
This guy thinks he solved 8 wars. And so do other Americans, Lana. That's what's scary.
Like, he's an imbecile. And like, he was an imbecile from the beginning. Yeah. Like, I remember when he first ran for office and he ran this ad, and it was like some ad where they were saying that he let this Black woman live in one of his apartments for free for a number of years. And then they were interviewing the woman about living free in Trump's apartment because he was doing it out of the goodness of his heart. And then when people started investigating it, like, it just went away. Like, there was a lot of things like that just went away because he just lied about. Remember his doctor that wasn't really his doctor that said that he was like positive?
Wasn't that Dr. Ronnie Jackson? Was that who that was?
No, the one before that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
The thyroid doctor or whoever he was that wrote that thing that said he was all positive because Trump told him to write, you took these tests and everything was positive.
It's amazing. My friend Jen actually sent me a clip earlier. I was like, you know what? This might be a theory that could be true. I wonder if Donald, he was told something and maybe not have that much time left because he just went to, I mean, we're in the middle of a war. The economy's terrible. And he just went to Graceland and went and saw Elvis's house and signed a guitar that was all kind of screwed up and everything. And maybe he's trying to check off some bucket list stuff before he goes.
We would all be so lucky, but I think that Donald Trump is going to live like long
I
time.
don't blame you for thinking that.
Huh?
I don't blame you for thinking
Yeah,
that because he might outlive all of us.
Yeah, I don't think
somehow.
he's gonna die while he's in office.
He does sound and look rough, though.
No, he's getting. I think there's going to be within the next year. There's going to be a serious decline because I mean he's 80, so like he eats like shit. It's unbelievable that he has not had a stroke, and maybe he has, and that's why he's taking all these cognitive exams or something like that to check his brain and shit. But I don't
Didn't
know.
they say he said last year? He goes, I went on my annual check, and he already had his annual check earlier in the year. So,
I don't want him to die. I want him incapacitated.
Right,
like,
me too.
I want him to see
do too.
His decline and his fall.
Yep.
Like I want him. Maybe his body doesn't move. All he can move is
You
his
want him to
eye.
be like what's his name? The guy that was in the wheelchair.
I know he had. Did he have polio? That guy?
No. Oh my God! I can't believe I can't remember his name. He was in the Epstein files too.
Oh, I thought you meant a president.
Somebody from the chat will come up with it.
But yeah, like I don't want him. Like that's too quick. He needs to see
Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, he needs to watch it. I want him to be alive when there's a Democratic president and we tear down all that shit.
Me too. You're right. Yep. I agree.
See that. He needs to see that shit. He needs to see his people that he's going to pardon federally, and I hope they find state charges on all of them.
Me too.
I'm sure there's wire fraud and everything else going on with Hegseth and all of them. And this insider trading that Hegseth tried to do, if they don't get him now, they're going to get him.
Yep.
They're going to get them all because I'm sure all of them are insider trading.
Yep. And you know, I wonder, Lana, if these assholes, because I've already said I think they've overplayed their hand. I wonder if they're so cocky that they think that they are going to be around forever, that they've been told, don't worry about it. We're going to make sure that you guys never are out of power. And I think as time goes on, they might be starting to get a little bit nervous because they're like, I don't know if this is going to work out the way they are telling us or made us think that this was going to work out.
I hear tell that people with like that much money really don't think about end results. Like
they don't, or consequences.
Yeah, you're not thinking about I'm not going to be here in a few years. Like you have so much money, like you just don't. So probably closer to the time is when they're going to think about it and ask for those pardons because Trump is going to pardon them all, obviously. But you know.
I don't know. November's getting closer. And the one thing that they are going to be forced to do, they're going to be forced, especially if they win the House and the Senate, they're going to be forced to sit in House and Senate committee hearings constantly.
Hegseth can get impeached for this.
No question.
That money trying to get those stocks from Blackwater. Is it Blackwater? Yeah.
Yep. So. Or BlackRock, is it? I can't remember.
Okay, I don't remember. No, I think it's BlackRock.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be November is gonna be very interesting. It's just it feels like it's a long way away, but shit, tomorrow's fucking April.
It's not a long way. It's right after the summer. Then it'll be a hop, skip, and a jump. Once we get to September,
we're 7 months away. Literally.
Just so much. We're doing so well.
Yeah, they really are.
Just keep ice in the airports. I don't care. Keep them in the airports. Keep them
front. Send them to Iran.
I just want them front and center. It keeps them in the eyes of the American people, so we don't fall asleep. They're still there.
Yep.
They're still the same people. Nothing has changed under Homan and what's Wayne Mullen or whatever the frick his name is.
Well, he just started, so who knows? I mean, and that dude's a fucking weirdo. Did you see some of the old clips of him talking about spanking his daughter? And she wouldn't bend over for. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You people are so fucking weird. There was another J6er who just got arrested for thousands of kid shit in his computer.
How do you have 100? How much memory does your computer have to have for you to have over 100?
He went to Best Buy and said,
Yeah.
give me the computer with the most memory.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Almost every.
And that's not the only J6er.
I know. It's over 20.
Yep.
It's over 20 J6ers with abusing children and women. And now they're trying to. Now they want to sue federal police officers for roughing them up during the insurrection. And you know Trump is going to settle those cases and give them a piece of money.
Yep. Oh, there's no question.
Like
But
he did Mike Flynn. Like, why not?
it's a rough waters getting there, but I'm just telling you, when this is all over and we can start to settle back in, and politics is never going to be boring anymore because there's too many fucking channels that now have decided that the professional wrestling route is the way to go.
Yes.
But it's not going to be every day we pick up our phone and there's a new fucking story every single day.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of like policy implemented on Truth Social or whatever. Like it's like Truth Social, a Truth Social post is breaking news.
Right, exactly. That's
Biden
fucking
never
pathetic.
did that. Like Biden never did that. What is that?
I even if Biden were 20 years younger, if they said, "Sir, you should announce the war on Twitter," he'd say, "Get the fuck away from me. I'm not doing it on Twitter."
Exactly. What is that? Like, I just want normalcy. And honestly, I want normal Republicans. Like, I really, and I do kind of feel bad about, some people who are like Michael Steele, people who really have conservative values because
Adam Kinzinger.
Right. It's a thing, right? And it shouldn't be anything that you're ashamed of, but like the MAGA movement took over the conservatives. I miss a time where this really did happen, and young people probably wouldn't even know this, that you could go and watch like a MSNBC or a CNN and you would get Republicans and Democrats on at the table talking about things. Even Fox News, like years ago, would have more Democrats on there. Like now it's just like you go to your corners and you just whatever. But that's something that Donald Trump has created, the division, and it works.
It's going to be interesting to see when Larry Ellison takes over CNN, because you had literally Pete Hegseth and Brandon Carr. Who the fuck is this guy, by the way, who is in charge of the FCC? He's in charge. That's supposed to be a governing body for television, radio, all that kind of shit. He's working for Donald Trump, and he was making comments about how he can't wait for Larry Ellison to take over CNN. What the fuck is this? I can't wait. That's a guy I can't wait to see get fired.
It's just so bad.
I fucking hate these people, Juan. I can't stand them. I'm sorry. I cannot stand these people. And watching them all go down is going to be phenomenal. I just hope he doesn't destroy this economy so bad to where it makes 2008 look like a picnic.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't know. We've had some good candidates, so I'm definitely excited about like our candidates. Yeah, all of that.
And they're winning everything. So, we'll just keep the boat moving. So, but Lana, as we all know, she does the show. When she does it, who the fuck knows? Sometimes it's Saturday. Sometimes she goes on a surprise Thursday. Sometimes it's Sunday. Sometimes she says, "Fuck you, I'm not doing anything." Lana, everybody's favorite part of the show. I know it's why everybody comes here. They're like, "You guys are blabbing." When is Lana, or is she going on Saturday? Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, the big announcement: Lana Quest.
No, I think we're gonna do this Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
I haven't been on for 2 weeks. It's been so busy, man. I can't. It's a lot. You know how it gets.
Life gets in the way. That's so she couldn't even be here last week.
Working mama, just
working mama.
Place. Yeah.
No question. All right. Well, maybe Thursday, everybody. And take it how you want, but hit the notification bell. Well, first you got to go to her page, The Quest Show, and you got to subscribe to her channel. And by the way, if you're here and you haven't just subscribed to this channel, like, what are we doing?
What are you waiting for?
It's a simple click of a button, right, Lana?
Like
cost you $0.
$0. Who
Yep.
doesn't like free?
I don't know, Lana. But I want to thank all of you for coming over here. The Diava raid. I want to thank everybody that came here tonight. Thank you so much. And next Tuesday, we'll be back live at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Lana again, maybe on Thursday. You can follow her.
Hit the notification bell.
And by the way, if you're on Twitter and you want to follow a great account, Lana, why don't you tell her your Twitter handle?
What is it?
At Lana Quest, isn't it?
No, at LQ Lana.
LQ Lana, that's right, at LQ Lana. So you can follow her on Twitter, and you can follow me on TikTok at brun1333, which I will be on between 7 and 10 o'clock every night, except for this night. Woof. I did take Sunday night.
It makes me tired. Think about it. I'm just like, oh my God. I was up at 4:00 this morning. I can't shut it off. Like, I cannot. Oh my God.
It's you know what, I was talking about it with a few people, and you're like, you don't. I don't want to get rid of all the fun in my life because of what's going on, because I've always, just going out, hanging out with friends, going to events, or just always out doing something and having fun, which I did. I did Sunday night and Sunday, I was out and I took the show off. I had it was my birthday. It was my birthday.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Young man.
I
said, happy birthday, young man. That's what's up.
Appreciate that. That is what's up. But at the same time, I don't know. I know I'm not changing the world, but just something about it feels like you just should always be doing something about this. And I don't know if that's I know that's not necessarily healthy, but
no, I understand what you mean. We all have, your thing. And like, if you're not doing it, you feel like you're doing a disservice. Like, it is something that you have to do and you need to do, is to get the word out there. No, so I definitely get it, but you definitely have to take some breaks, but it's hard to take breaks. Like, I get it. Like, I don't get off Twitter. Like, I have to purposely on the weekend be like, but then I still can't because I have the group. So I have to check on everybody.
Do you take one day off of Twitter?
No, I have a group. So I have to go, so I have to go into the rooms and make sure there's no questions. So I do take a break from the news. So I may not tweet, but I do go on to make sure that, what I deal with on there is okay.
Yep.
But I try to I stay away from the news on the weekend. Outside of the show called The Weekend on the Weekends.
Oh, The Weekend on the Weekend.
Yeah, I watch The Weekend in the morning. But outside of that,
generally I'll take the weekend off too. That's sports. That's shit.
Yeah.
I go to the gym every weekend.
Right.
There's no way I'm not going to be at a gym Saturday and Sunday, and I'm absolutely going to be there. So
no way, ain't going to. You gotta go. If y'all ain't going to the gym, what y'all doing? Because it helps.
It does. It actually does.
It really helps get through what's happening.
It really does. So, but either way, Lana, I think we've said enough here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Lana, as always.
Yes.
And
thank you, everybody.
We will see you again next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, unless one of us has something that comes up. But thank you guys so much. Lana, The Quest Show, please follow her. She's the best. Lana, have a great night. Have a great night, everybody else. Thank you for being here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Let's go Mets.
Bye, Brian.
All right, bye.